So what about other takeaways from Fontana? We all know Kyle Busch won, and really in dominating fashion. Yeah. But what else did you guys see that you liked or didn't like?
Well, I think it seemed to be, we talked about this before the series head west at all, right? That it was very hard to change your equipment. If you had stuff, even though the tracks are very different from Phoenix to Vegas to Fontana, it still is a very trying 3 weeks for the teams. And I think that showed. And what I mean is the teams that were strong on the entire West Coast trip. Joe Gibbs and Team Penske still ran extremely well. Hendrick Motorsports, in my mind, still disappoints. Richard Childress Racing still riding a little bit of a high. There was moments in there. So that's kind of what I saw. I saw that the West Coast grind is still real, even with technology and Steve with team planes and everything else. It's still a long ways from the East Coast, and I didn't see a lot of teams really change the equipment.
Yeah, I think what I came away with was that good teams are still going to be the best ones, and the drivers with the experience and understanding of what it takes to run up front, regardless of what the rules may be. I do still favor the fact, though, that the drivers that I'm watching run up front the most are ones that have been driving Xfinity cars and trucks over the last few years. And I think that has really made a big difference in this. And whether you want to call it the momentum or just the feel of that and the understanding of what it takes, what you need in your car to withstand through a run.
Not just driving, but working on them. My point is, he mentions the drivers. I'm going to look at the car. Yeah. Team Penske, Joe Gibbs Racing have outstanding Xfinity programs. It has to help.
Yeah, and they promote from within.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys that are in the Xfinity, in the Cup program now came from their Xfinity program. And I think that matters. I think what's going to be interesting as far as the Xfinity Series goes is, do they change the rules? Because currently, between trucks and Cup cars, Xfinity cars are probably the worst driving cars. And so when you look at it from a stepping stone, does it make sense to change what the package is for the Xfinity drivers to have them more prepared for Cup? All that conversation is for another day, but I find that will be a compelling conversation. I think one of the things I find interesting is so much conversation about the rules.
Yeah.
And so much debate about what was going to happen. And at the end of the day, the best drivers, the best cars, the best handling cars, the guys that can stay in the throttle the most, they're the guys that have the best chance to win. And that's how it was last year. The races don't look that different. I'm a little surprised. The restarts look different, but the rest of the racing really just doesn't look that different to me. It looks very, very similar to what we saw last year.
And I'm the wrong guy to discuss with the rules because I'm not here to debate it, nor will I go on social media and debate it. A driver just won his 200th NASCAR race, and I have to hear about the rules. You had different rules than you, different rules than Dale Sr., different rules than Richard Petty. The simple fact is, I've been to late model races, dirt races, asphalt races. I don't care about the rules. I go to watch competition, and I feel that there's been a little bit of lack of yellows, which could have hurt some races, yet still there was some decent competition. Were they all the best races ever? No, I'm not here to sell that they were. I wasn't really disappointed. A little surprised they didn't look different. I mean, such a drastic change, and they kind of look the same. It was shocking.
I'm surprised down the back straightaway they didn't draft up harder than they did. Really surprised me.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's been the surprising part to me, is that at a place like Vegas and Atlanta, I could give that because the worn surface, and California is that too, but I thought because of the length of it and those straightaways that we would see more drafting that would come into play a little bit more than what it actually did.
Well, Kyle Busch won a race for sure, but there are other guys that I think you could say had winning moments. There were some others that had losing moments. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Hey, NASCAR fans. Thanks for checking out the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe below for the latest NASCAR news, race highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.